Like, what advice would you give to that younger athlete?
Keep your options open. Don't be so set on, I gotta get here. You need to trust your coach. Like a lot of sometimes younger athletes, they think they know more than their coach, and
They got ChatGPT, coach.
Man, I tell you what, I've had a few instances where ChatGPT was wrong. Eric Materna.
What else as a coach do you look for?
I mean, I look at personalities, so I evaluate it's much deeper than just being a good athlete.
You're a coach that you train championship caliber athletes.
You definitely, as an athlete, you gotta want it. Not everybody wants it. I call that the dog. Not everybody is a dog.
I mean, not only did the team win, aftermath. I mean, can you talk about what did it mean being named the USTFCCCA National Men's Assistant Coach of the Year? What did it mean for you?
One of those things where you get a little bit of acknowledgement. That's what that felt like.
Winning Marian's first NAIA National Championship mean to you?
I can't even describe feeling. Like, I don't even know how to explain the feeling. I remember sitting down and I looked at a photo. Somebody had Marian had just posted the photo, and I looked at the photo and I just started crying. I was just like,
last season on this podcast we had Olivier.
Yep, the front.
You know? How you feeling?
I'm good.
All right, man. Coach, you look good, man. You've been amped up, man. I seen just your encounters with the athletes from yesterday. You guys finished off the 3,200 meter relay. Y'all won that event, man. Can you just go ahead and just talk to me about that?
When you talk about that, you gotta start with, that's an event that we have never won. You know, I've been here 10 years at this point. Coach Presley, our distance coach, has been here longer than me. To a sense of, he was an athlete. He was 2 classes above me, right? We were on that same relay back when we were running. And we came in, I remember one national, we came in seated number 1, didn't even make finals. That's the story for another time, but just in general, from a coaching standpoint, we've got 2nd in that event, 5th, 3rd, all that. Have never won that event. Yesterday, we pieced a plan together, and it went according to plan perfectly. Insane. I don't even know what else to say to that. It was impressive. They broke the NAIA record, and, yeah.
Well, Coach, man, congratulations once again, man, because you guys did. I mean, for you guys to never even win that event, but then, even while you were running, come in seeded first place, but then come into 2026, and y'all finished. I mean, y'all, and now we're here at day 3. Okay, hold on. Let's slow down, y'all. Who we got today? Today's guest, y'all. Let me let y'all know. We got Coach Vinson here, but today's guest is just not a coach. He's a championship architect. In just 4 years, he's helped Marian to his first NAIA National Championship, earned USTFCCCA National Men's Assistant Coach of the Year honors, produced multiple national champions, and developed dozens of All-Americans across indoor and outdoor seasons. From qualifying double-digit athletes to nationals to building one of the most dominant mid-distance programs in the NAIA. This is a man who understands development, leadership, and winning at the highest level. And the craziest part, he once wore that same jersey as an athlete. Coach Mychal Vinson, welcome to Fresh P Podcast.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's an honor, man. I mean, our relationship, it goes beyond, coaching and just media. So, man, just to be here with you, not in Indianapolis, man. I mean, we in Florida, man. Yeah. So can you just tell me, man, because, you guys arrived here Sunday, you guys flew in. I mean, just talk about that, flying in, because you also were an athlete here at Marian University. Can you just go ahead and just...
Yeah. When I'm an athlete here, even up until this point, it's always you're taking a bus. We're driving 14 hours. You're taking a bus. You're stopping halfway. You're sleeping in a hotel the night, finishing the drive the next day. And, last year you're coming off a national championship, and our head coach, Katie Wise, she's looking at it like, nah, we going to treat them how they deserve to be treated. I respect that. We're going to treat them how they deserve to be treated. We're going to fly, and we're going to get there, obviously, way quicker. And, yeah, and it was a great experience. Honestly, the whole process of getting through the airport, I thought there was going to be some hiccup somewhere. It was smooth. It was smooth.
Seamless. I love to hear that, man. And, I mean, honestly, just your energy is just translating into that. So you guys flew in on Sunday. Can you tell me what differences have you already seen? I mean, you guys we're on day 3 now, and you guys already finished off day 2 by winning the 3,200 relay. So what differences have you seen just being able to just travel? You guys are at ease. Like, what's it already looking like?
Yeah, so, I mean, one of the major differences that that I've noticed is, when you take a bus, it's kind of like, all right, you just got this one bus, 55 passenger. This year you fly in, we rent out some 15 passenger vans, and there's just a lot more flexibility in what you can do. Because, I can take my group, hey, let's go here and let's do this, or hey, we're taking a group to here. If you want to come, you can tag along. If not, you stay at the hotel. Boop, boop. Like I said, there's a group that went to the beach one day. We went to Florida's campus, went and got some acai bowls and just hung out, walked around. Like,
Nice.
There's a lot more flexibility on what you can do. You can enjoy yourself a little bit better versus like, hey, everybody has to get on this bus and go here. Everybody has to do this because not everybody wants to do the same thing. It's a lot of different people, a lot of different people. So that's one of the things that I know that I have enjoyed, and I know from their feedback they have enjoyed.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Coach, man, I'm glad you guys. I mean, last year you guys won the men's indoor. I mean, last season on this podcast we had Olivier.
Yep, LaFranche.
And he's doing great things out there. He's traveled back to Europe. He's on that side of the planet. It's just crazy. I mean, so you can you go ahead and just like talk about your background? Like, how did you even get into this path? I mean, we knew you were a student athlete here at Marian University, right. But just going in, we want to learn about you and just your whole journey.
So my journey begins first and foremost with my father, who is a phenomenal track coach, and one of the few track coaches that never actually ran track. That is like a good coach that never ran track. It's something that when I tell people, it's like, what? He never ran track. He got into coaching, I think, a little bit before I was born. He started his own youth track club and then got into coaching high school. He's won multiple state titles as a head coach at North Central High School in Indiana. On the women's side, he won multiple state titles. On the men's side at Ben Davis High School when I was younger. Like I said, youth coach basically was my coach my entire life until I got to college. It starts with him. And he has people that have went and ran professional, plenty of SCC type runners, over the years. It starts with him. And then going after him, my coach in college when I was at Marian, Mike Holman, he was a great coach, phenomenal coach, also coached in the high school realm, won some state titles in high school. And his last year here, we actually were runner-up. So that was before last year when we won. We actually were runner-up with him. So you go to him, and it's like, hey, this was it was meant to be. Like, we just been on this progression this whole time. It ain't something like it just came out of nowhere. Like, it starts with those people. But from a coaching perspective, for me, about my junior year in college, I was like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. And I was, talking to my coach because, I was kind of always like a leader on the team. I'm like, hey, like I feel like I could be a coach because it's almost like secondhand nature to me. It's like I've been around it my entire life. So I'm like, talk to him. He's like, yeah, I feel like you would be a good coach. So he was like, yeah, when you graduate, I'll bring you back. Boop, boop, boop. Like, stay here. We can learn. And that's basically how it all started for me. And I did help my dad when I was still in college running. I would help my dad with his youth club over the summers, on the breaks and stuff. So that's kind of how I got into it. Like I said, my former head coach basically kept me around to help coach at Marian.
Coach Mike.
Yep, Mike Holman. And then he retired 2 years ago. And, from that point, pretty much my role has increased.
Yeah, and then you said also Vinson Senior, right?
He's not a senior. I'm not a junior.
You're not a junior?
No, our names are spelled different, so I'm not a junior. Like,
what?
His name is spelled normal Mychal, then mine is Mychal, so I'm not a junior technically.
Okay, I got you. Okay, that's interesting. All right, with that being said, man, can we run it back? We here in 2026, man. And you guys, last year you took it home, the men's side. We still here present. But at the moment, I just want to go back and just see because you guys show that you guys can already do it. Mm-hmm. So can you just talk about like what made the 2024-25 indoor seasons like special for Marian?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's tough because it's tough to target like where exactly it started. But like I said, if you go back to the year before that, we were runner up. We had a chance to win. And then, we were runner up by, I want to say 3 points, maybe. Can't remember exactly, but like 3 points. So it's like we were building and we had that. And then you bring it to the next year And kind of like what you started off with, like our middle distance program is insane. And, it's not just me, like I said, our distance coach, phenomenal distance coach. Us clashing together with indoor track and field, especially at the NAIA level, there's more middle distance events at nationals. So you add the 600, you add the K, you add the 4x8 and the DMR, and we dominate in that realm of 400 through mile pretty much. You got the 400, the 600, the 800, the K, and the mile. You got the DMR, the 4x8, and the 4x4. We dominate those events. So it's like when you built that program, and that's obviously there's field events, there's shorter sprint events, there's longer distance events. Well, you can dominate like a good chunk of 8 to 10 events and just rack up points.
Yeah, that
just
contributes
rack
to the
up points.
larger
And then
portion.
the other events do their job. The field events score a little bit here, high jump, throws, all that. Score a little bit here, and it just all adds up. But I know for my group specifically, last year we came into the 600. I had 3 guys. They were 400 guys. Came into the 600 and they weren't seeded to score, and all 3 of them got top 5. And from my perspective, that was the difference. They scored 18 points when we were supposed to get 0 in that event.
All right, man. The rest is history, y'all. The rest is history. Wow. Okay. And see that was the turning point for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you answered my next question. So I mean, we had Olivier last season on the podcast. He talked about we got his firsthand experience of what it was like being here in Gainesville. He shared his experience, just being in the weather.
Right.
He spoke on that. And so I know, coming from Indianapolis, that's a game changer. But can you just talk about like what did winning Marian's first NAIA National Championship mean to you?
Man, I can't even describe the feeling. Like I don't even know how to explain the feeling. I can tell you that after we won, we went and got food somewhere. I can't remember where. And I remember sitting down and I looked at a photo. Somebody had Marian had just posted the photo, and I looked at the photo and I just started crying. I was just like, that it was, I can't even explain the feeling. I cannot explain it. But that's how much it means. It's just one of those emotional things. Even right now, I'm like, you damn near get chills just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Because it's something that even when I was an athlete, nobody ever thought we would do that. Nobody thought we would do that. Now, like towards that, it was kind of like, oh, we can actually win, right? But when I was an athlete, it's like, oh, we're trying to win conference. We're just trying to make it to national. We're just trying to make the finals. We're just trying to be All-American. Our teams were getting like 13th, 15th. We weren't doing any of that. So when you get to this and you win that first one, and just to be able to say that I was here from the jump before this was ever a thought. And even I had, there was athletes that we were teammates at one point that were on that team that won. I was a senior, they were a freshman. To look at them and be like, look at what we did. We never thought about this, but look at what we did. It's just a great feeling, man. Great.
Wow. Feeling. Okay, Coach, I really love that. And I mean, you talking about lost for words, right? This feeling is a loss for words. I mean, and I mean, present day, we still have you guys are in the opportunity to close it out and, rinse and repeat, so on and so forth. But, man, I wanted to see on this podcast, man, it's all about having a fresh perspective, right? And you talked about, I heard one of those things you talked about. It wasn't even a thought about winning, but and so on this pod, man, we like to talk about the mindset, and so can you just allude to maybe what did that look like? Maybe when you were an athlete to a coach, like the mindset, where did you see that shift start to happen within the athletes, within the coaching staff standpoint? Like where did you see that mindset in the organization start to, or maybe you think it was just something that was trending even, with even Mike Holman being in position, or it was just progressively and we just life, what do you think?
I definitely feel like Coach Holman was one of the better leaders that I've been around. And I think that he assembled a great staff, because this staff that we have now is the staff that he assembled.
Okay.
So he assembled the staff that we have. Obviously, we have a new head coach, but she was here. He hired her. He assembled this staff and led us to what we ended up becoming. So when we won, we made sure we got him a ring. Cause like you won too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, respect, got to. So I don't know exactly where the shift is, but I mean, I think it was just a progression. And then when you get that little, you know, sniff of blood, when it's like, oh snap, like we can actually do that. And last year, it was almost like everything just went according to plan. Like everything just played out perfectly. But what I do remember last year, and I talked about this last night in our team meeting. Last year, this 4x8, we thought we were gonna win, and we got second. And we thought our women's team was gonna win, and they got second. And we were like, that was the one moment last year at this meet where we were like, kind of like felt a little defeat. You know what I mean? But you got to reel it back in. And we reeled it back in, and they finished. Because then we came back that next day and won the DMR and won the 4x4 back to back. That's how we closed out that championship. That's how we closed it out.
All right, Coach. All right, man. Y'all heard him, man. Y'all heard Coach, man. It's an honor to have you on this podcast. With that being said, y'all, I mean, not only did the team win, right? We talking about aftermath. I mean, can you talk about what did it mean being named the USTFCCCA National Men's Assistant Coach of the Year? What did it mean for you?
I mean, that was like one of those things where you get a little bit of acknowledgement of I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what I should be doing. That's what that felt like to me. You know, it wasn't like one of those things like, oh, I deserve this award, et cetera, et cetera. It was one of those things where it's like you get that award and you appreciate the acknowledgement and the recognition of what you did. And obviously it ain't just me, you know what I mean? So it's not one of those things where it's like, yeah, I did this. It's like, that's a whole team. That's my head coach believing in my vision. Because like I said, even like, to sum it up, I pretty much won that award because our 600 group had 3 people get top 5 and our 4x4 won and our 4x8 got second. That's pretty much how I won that award, right? And you look back at that and it's like, the 3 guys that went top 5 in that 600 were 400 guys. They had all qualified in the 400. And I said to Coach Katie, our head coach, I said, I'm going to run all 3 of them in the 6. No pushback. That's what you want to do? Do it. That's trust, right? So you look back to moments like that and it was like, because you have somebody that believes in you, right, believes in your vision, then you can excel. They're giving you room to grow, then you can excel. So.
Okay, and with that being said, we're going to just piggyback off that. We're going to go into your coaching philosophy because obviously, you know, you have your unique vision of, man, I think if we, Coach, what do you think? Go for it, Mike. Can you talk about how would you describe your coaching style?
I've been asked that question before, and I don't exactly know the answer. Because some people use those words, like, are you like more authoritative and like stuff like that?
Transactional,
I'm like, I feel like everything there's a mix of everything. Like you have to know when to use different, whatever word I'm looking for. But I would just say what I bank on is being consistent and being disciplined. And I tell people that all the time. And I've had, sometimes you get into it with athletes and there's some pushback here or there. And, I remember a moment even this year where one of our athletes said, you expect us to be perfect all the time. And I'm like, no, I don't. I expect you to show up every day and give it your all every day and be consistent so that when we get to moments like today, you have been consistent up to this point and you can believe in yourself and know that you can handle business. And you don't have to doubt yourself because you've done it every day in practice. So I really just bank on consistency and discipline. And if you do that and you care about what you're doing, you're going to excel in our program. That's how I look at it.
You're not expecting anyone to be perfect.
No, not at all. Because I'm not perfect.
There we go. I was going to ask you, are you perfect, Coach?
Perfect. Absolutely not.
All right, cool. All right, Coach, I want to ask you that, man. I mean, because you're a coach that you train championship caliber athletes. With that being said, can you can you tell us what separates good athletes from championship level competitors?
You definitely, as an athlete, you gotta want it. Not everybody wants it. I call that the dog. Not everybody is a dog. Not everybody is willing to do what it takes to be as good as they can be.
Hey man, y'all gotta look him in the eye. I know what he mean when he say that. I hear you, coach.
Not everybody is willing to do what it takes to be as good as they can be. And that's where discipline comes in handy. Like, you're gonna have days where it's like, I'm not feeling it today. You're gonna have those days. We all do. Outside of track and field, just in life in general, you're gonna have those days. But how do you respond to that feeling? Like, can you push through it day in and day out and still give it your all? Say, hey, maybe today I'm not at my absolute 100%, but I'm still gonna give it 100% of what I have today. Those are the people that make. Those are the ones. You know, not everybody is that, but you got to be able to identify those for sure.
Yeah, man, and it's like, man, so it's that's that battle with the self, like, you know what I mean?
Track is very mental, because it's an individual sport. I mean, you win as a team, but it's an individual sport. When you go out there, it's not football. You don't have 10 other people out there to kind of back you up to some degree. It's you. Like, the time that you run is the time that you run. So you got to show up.
Okay, now that we kind of like learned your coaching philosophy, what separates just an athlete versus a championship level athlete? Can you just talk about what kind of athletes thrive at Marian?
The athletes that got a little dog in them.
So
sure.
y'all
and I say that, and it's like, I think athletes that thrive at Marian are the athletes that they're not concerned about like how they look to other people. They're concerned about being the best that they can be.
Okay.
And they trust that, hey, if I'm at Marian with these coaches, et cetera, they're gonna put their all into me and help me be the best that I can be. And I've heard that from a lot of people. Like, yeah, I felt like when I came, if I came to college, like the coaches would only care about the top athletes. I've heard people say that a lot. And it's like, nah, because at the end of the day, there's a rotation. Like, you're gonna graduate at some point. You got to develop the next people, right? You got to develop the ones that aren't national level athletes yet. You got to develop, so you have to have that care for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
Now, how I see it is, I can't care more than you. It can be even, but if I feel like I'm putting more into you than what you're putting into this, you don't belong here. And I've had athletes quit, and I've had athletes where when they quit, it was hey, this is probably what's best for you. And I've had athletes that quit where I'm like, you're making a mistake, right? I'm trying to push you to, hey, you can be great. You just have to, work this out, work that out. And it is what it is. I can't force you to want to be great. So that's where it all ultimately comes down to. I'm not going to force you to stay on the team. You either want to be great or you don't. So the ones that want to be great, they put their all into it every day in, day out. They show up. They do what we ask them. They take care of their academics. They do all that stuff. Those are the ones that thrive.
All right, Coach. Thanks for that. Yeah. So those athletes, man, y'all out there, y'all want to know what Marian's program is. Hey, man, they want some dogs, okay? So with that being said, besides that, right, when you're looking for athletes, right, you're like, okay, man, this kid's fast. This kid's he's a great student. Also, not only is he a great athlete, and we can see him coming to the university and being a great athlete, a great runner for us. What else, as a coach, do you look for, whether it be character or what, maybe besides time and marks? What else do you guys look for?
I mean, I look at personalities as well. Just their character and how they carry themselves and how they treat other people, how they fit in when they come on a visit, how they fit in with the group, how they interact with the group, how they interact with other groups, how they interact with me, how they interact with Coach Katie, other coaches, all that stuff. So I evaluate it's much deeper than just being a good athlete, for sure. Much deeper than that. Obviously, being a good athlete is a big plus. Like, I like to recruit dual sport athletes.
Yeah.
Not that I want you to be a dual sport at Marian, because I want you to focus on track. But
got you, Coach.
If you're a natural athlete, it's like, okay, you've never even just toned in on just this or just that, so you probably have more potential to grow.
Yes.
But no, you want people that are good people. They're fun to be around. You get along with them on a personal standpoint. They get along with the team. They mesh well. Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, you looking for personality, people that treat others better. I mean, what advice, whether it's someone that's in middle school or maybe, I don't know, there's some little kid that just came across YouTube and just came to find you, Coach. And it's like, man, I one day want to train and become the best. Like, what advice would you give to that younger athlete?
Probably the best advice I can give you is, keep your options open, right? And don't, outside of us, don't be so set on, I got to get here, I got to get there. Because a lot of people right now is, I got to be D1. I'm like, especially in track and field, it don't matter if you're D1 or not. If you can run fast, a time is a time. That's number one. So don't be set like, I have to go D1.
Yeah.
You can be successful without being a Division I athlete. You can be a successful athlete. There's plenty of professional track athletes that were not Division I. And it's the same in other sports as well, but especially in track, a time is a time. Outside of that, like I said, you got to push yourself. You have to be willing to do what it takes. You need to trust your coach. That's a big one, because I feel like a lot of sometimes younger athletes, they think they know more than their coach, and
they got ChatGPT, coach.
Man, I tell you what, I've had a few instances where ChatGPT was wrong.
Oh, you hear that?
A few of them. Eric Materna. Last year,
Coach, you ain't got
last year at outdoor conference, I was already saying it. I was like, yeah, it's about time Eric runs 46. That's a breaking 47. That's a milestone.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT said I can run 46.5. This man goes out there and runs like 46.1. And I remember the first thing I said to him after the race, ChatGPT, what?
Just let him know. Yeah.
Just let him know, like, that's a robot, bro. This is real life. Right? It's AI. This is real life, man. Like,
oh my gosh.
But I get it to an extent. Like, it's telling me what I'm capable of. Some people need that to boost their confidence. But then you go out there and excel way beyond what it said, and it's like, don't hold yourself to this. You can be much more than just
limitless.
That. You can be much more than just that.
Man, thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, and so with that being said, I mean, we're here day 3. To be continued,
Yeah.
Still, the story's still being written.
It's a big day.
It's a big day. So can you where are you at mentally right now? Going into today and yeah, where are you at today?
I'm hyped.
You hyped, coach?
It's a day. It's like we've been training for this since September, for this very moment. This championship season. It only comes around 2 times a year: indoors championships and outdoor championships. You only get 2 opportunities. You got to make the most of them. You got to finish. You set yourself up. Now you got to finish. You made it to the final. Now you got to finish in the final. Just because you made it to the final, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean anything. You make it to the final and get 8th. We try and get 1st. So this is where the consistency comes in hand, right? You got to be consistent. You consistent. You made it here because you're being consistent. Now you got to put that to the test and finish it. It's time.
It's time, y'all. Do y'all hear that?
What else you got? What you got left? Who wants it more? Who wants it
more? All right, Coach. I feel that you want it, but, man, I want to thank you, man, first and foremost, man, for joining the platform, for your time. It's been an honor. I've been knowing you for, man, probably, I don't know, as long as I can remember, man,
right,
since middle school, beyond that. But, I want to thank you for just sharing, your mindset. You're a great leader, man. You've been a leader to me, man, in ways that I haven't even shared. So I want to thank you for your time joining the platform. Those of you guys watching, man, where can we find you at, Coach?
For the most part, I'll be on like Instagram. My Instagram is at Coach Mike, but at Coach_Mike. The Mike is MYCH, since my name is spelled weird. But that's pretty much what I mostly use from a coaching standpoint. You can email me, mvinson, MVINSON at marian.edu. Marian is spelled MARIAN. If anybody's looking recruiting or any of that advice, whatever. So, best way to get a hold of me.
All right, Coach, man. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me, man. And you've been doing your thing out here. Respect to you as well. I was telling people, you was at the meet yesterday. I'm telling people, like, yeah, that's my boy. Man, that ain't your boy. I said, bro, we went to high school together. What you talking about ain't my boy? What you talking about?
They don't know, Coach.
What you talking about?
Hey, we ahead, man. We doing the digital. Hey, if you know, you know. We gonna leave it at that. But, Coach, I want to congratulate you once again, not only on last year, but, even just coming here today and keeping that same energy. Good luck to you and the team. Man, go out there and kill it, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
And we are out. Fresh P Podcast Season 2.